a shoulder reconstruction, and was given like minimum 12-month recovery period um, to get back to acrobatic level. And at this point, I was crazy strict on my diet and was eating like crazy healthy. And and I did it in 9 months. And this was, like my surgeon was just always, when I was coming in the door and showing him what I could do, he was always completely gobsmacked. And he's like, wow, even the scar is looking amazing. But I think not just big injuries, but like what for me also like muscle fatigue, and I've really noticed that just generally you bounce back quicker when you're doing shows on the road. You're doing a show and then you're traveling and setting up and doing another show, and you're not really getting any kind of break, and your body's going through all these different modes of going, if you're on the stage and then you get in a car and drive, it's like really not good for you, because then you sit for hours, then you get up and you're all stiff, and then the next day you have to do a show. And when I'm going through this process, I also notice that I'm feeling way better than anyone else. Also not vegan, and I don't know. I think your body just is cleaner, it's just, and the energy, sustained energy, I notice is particularly when I switched from vegetarian to vegan, which was about 8 years ago. I really noticed that this change, that my sustained energy improved. Like in 3 months, I really noticed a difference.
Yeah, and so also your body recovers faster than it would. A vegan diet. Yeah, I think a lot of athletes have said that as well, like and even like feeling it in their bones, in their muscles, like this faster recovery. Yeah.
I think, and it's like a little sneaky edge, It's like, right. You only figure this out if you actually go vegan, and then everyone goes, hey, like, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, right.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
No, and it's funny what you mentioned earlier as well, like that it was your little secret for a while, that you felt like, oh, this is my little secret. But like, I think now it's so. I mean, I also recently spoke with Fiona Oakes, who is this amazing vegan athlete. She runs, and she even hates running, but she runs anyway. And she's world record holder 4 times. I mean, it's also looking at her and seeing like, what a resilience she has and this incredible strength. And it is all just coming from plants, from veggies, from, and there's even like tests have been done where, there was a test done where even the bones of vegetarian women were stronger than those who weren't vegetarian. So, it's, we really don't need it to be.
Bust the myth right out of the water, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think definitely. And for some reason, people still think like, even when you look at your shoulders, your arms, they're so strong and it's all muscle. And, and I think that people, for some reason, even like some kids I know, they would say like, oh, but these people have muscles, so they must be eating meat or they must be drinking milk, because they just have this vision of like, that's what strength stands for. You have to have that. Like Popeye only also ate spinach, but whatever.
This conditioning, this is just what we've learned. And it's and now we're learning that it's not necessarily, it's not true. For me, it's a really exciting phase. I've known this, and I've had we have every festival that we go to, there's like three or four of us that we are in different companies, and we're all vegan, and we always end up, it's really funny because we always end up in the same cafes or places to lunch, and we always end up meeting each other like, oh,
hey, it's the vegans. The vegans are the vegans come together. And so was it also for you special, like, how some boxers they need to be on a specific diet when they are training in their training phase? Were you also eating specifically differently, for example, when you are training or when you're getting ready for certain gigs?
No, I mean, To be honest, when I was in circus school, I was vegetarian. I mean, this was quite some time ago now, but the physio and we had meetings with like dietitians and stuff, and they all said, "Oh, you can't sustain this kind of long training on a vegetarian diet. You'll need to eat some fish or something like this." And I just never I just never did. But I think, it's hard for me because I think for a long time I didn't necessarily have a great relationship with food for a long time, and now I'm much better. So I would be quite restrictive even on a vegan diet. I wouldn't eat pasta or bread, or because I wanted to stay at a certain weight so that people could throw me.
Yeah.
And over the years, I have like worked on that, and I'm much better. And I actually eat like way more food than I've ever eaten before.
And enjoying it. Yeah, because it's a really good point what you're making as well, because I think, circus performers, but also dancers, actors, I mean, like so many are on restricted diets, and it's horrible. It's like, you're stuck.
And in the end, I was the one who restricted myself.
Exactly.
And I put the pressure on myself because, just like a stupid reason, like someone said, "Oh my God, you look amazing." And that week I'd basically like eaten hardly anything. And so I had to convince myself that that's what I had to eat for the rest of my life to look like that. And it's just, it's just stupid. Yeah. Lots of us do that and go through it. But I think it's really important, especially now, because you can actually buy so much junk food. I think it's, for me, when I feel my best when I eat a lot of fruit, like fruit in the morning. I'll pack like a giant smoothie, like a huge smoothie, 4 or 5 bananas, and heaps of stuff in it, and have just one hot meal a day. Like that's how I eat and how I feel the most awesome. So like a rice, a curry or something, or a pasta or whatever once a day, and then like a little snack or something at night. And this is, I think it's because I can't go on stage with a full stomach. I'm used to only eating like one big meal a day. And so for me, and I feel the best when I'm doing this, eating loads of fruit and eating heaps, like packing in the veg, and not eating any junk, like
exactly, because it's
like fake meat stuff or fake products,
because a lot of it is also processed and it's not necessarily good for you. I also feel I like to eat clean, like just like good food, and making sure you look at your pyramid and you got everything sorted, your beans and your nuts, and drink lots of water and stuff, but fruit, of course. Exactly. And do you feel like, so when we're talking about this, kind of what you were just mentioning, like what you're eating, and you're eating all, like how you're eating, do you feel like when you are, I had a really good question. What was it? Like you were just talking about
eating heaps of fruit and veg.
Eating and the one meal a day. Are you still eating like that also when you're not training or performing?
Yeah, that's how I eat now. As well.
Just
one like hot meal a day. And normally like it's a big smoothie for breakfast. This is the best.
And did you take any? It's gone back to me. Did you take any? Because a lot of people always ask me, and I'm not even really, I'm not a circus performer or an athlete. I'm a yogi though. I'm like a medium athlete when it comes to yoga. I mean, Jivamukti yoga is very much athletic yoga, people. But people always ask me, do you take supplements? Is that something that you've done?
Yeah. This topic is always for me. Yes, I have. But not all the time. And I believe there's a place for supplementation, but I think it's way overused. I did quite a lot of research into this. I had a good friend that told me about this 80-10-10. This is 80% carbs, 10% fat, 10% protein. Dr. Douglas Graham. This is really like basically raw vegan diet for. He developed it for triathletes, I think, originally.
Okay.
And in his work and his books, there's really a lot of information about how the body takes on vitamins and blah blah blah, and it goes into supplements like it in extent, and you have to have the whole, like the way nature produces those elements is with all, like a bunch of other elements with it. So your body alone taking protein, it doesn't really work. It's the same. However, I have, especially when I'm injured, this is when I take a protein supplement, but like half and of what they say, and then like I'll have it once, and then 3 or 4 days later I have it again. Not every day, because I just listen to my body and it doesn't feel like I need it. And this is also like long seasons. So say I'm doing a month season of shows every day, then when I'm going, okay, need a little kick. Need a little energy kick, then I find this really helps. And it really helps with muscle building and muscle recovery and stuff. So yes. And then I'm trying to remember what crazy concoction I was taking with my shoulder. It was shit. Oh, I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just good to know that what you're saying, and I think it's important, is like, there were times where you needed it and then you took it, but it's not something that you are taking full time on top of your diet, because I think a lot of people do think that, and I also think that, meat eaters might also, need, because it's different for everybody. Like, this is a very individual thing, like some people have, that's also what I love about a lot of, Chinese medicine or even Ayurvedic doctors. They are always so amazed. Like, there is not one pill for everybody, there isn't like just this one, if you have something, then they look at you individually and give you your care, like what it is that you need. And so, for me, it's the same. Like, I am not really a crazy, you need to take supplements, but sometimes I feel a little weak, or I feel like, like I go back to my B12, or I take these euthanasia pills for good, for a while.
B12, like vitamin D, if you're not living where the sunshine is, it's all subjective as well. It's like, to do with the soil as well, and that the soil is not as nutritionally dense as it used to be, and it's like So and also when when I was pregnant, obviously you get your bloods done all the time. And mostly the doctor would say, "Oh, your bloods are perfect," and I was like, "You hear that?
I know, I'm perfect. Thank you, thank you." Thank you. Yes, if only you know, doctor. If only you would know.
Yeah, because you always go in there like, it's going to be low, and this is, we definitely need to do some bloods, and then they come back and they go, I've done blood tests too. Yeah, and it's. I think in general, I would say everybody should, but definitely, I think vegans, I would definitely highly recommend doing a blood test once a year, because it's just good to sort of. First of all, it's good to show other people in their face, look at my blood. And it's know where you're at, if you do have a deficiency.
It's good to know for yourself also. Because
you're crazy tired, and this can stop you from being vegan, because you're like, oh man, I was just so super tired, but actually you were just getting you weren't putting the right things in your body.
Absolutely, because I do think that so many people, and I think it is a myth, because I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I went vegan for a while, but then I got so sick, this and that. And it was funny because I was in Bern recently, and I was staying at this lovely, lovely family. They're just the sweetest people. And Andreas, it was like I was staying with Andres and Ulrike. They like the mom and dad, and their son Jonathan, super cool guy. It was just a great time. And Andreas is actually a doctor, And he came to I did this workshop and I was chatting a little bit about veganism after a class. And then this girl was exactly saying like, yeah, I went for a month, but I got really sick, this and that. And I was really like, well, there could also be other stuff happening there, like